Day, and Pirate broadcaster Joe Block is on the other end of the line. Joe, good morning to you.
Hi, Jack. How are you?
I'm doing well. And you guys came up with one of those tie games yesterday, I guess, huh? Tell us about yesterday's tie with in Port Charlotte and how things went about with Tampa Bay.
Yeah, ties aren't just for the business meetings anymore. They're also for spring training. We get a bunch of those, and it was great to watch Mitch Keller get back out there and really throw the best that he's thrown this spring training. You know, you want, especially the younger guys that don't have a long track record yet, you want to see them be successful, and he was against primarily the Rays' regular lineup yesterday, and struck out 5 in 3+ innings. He was that fastball really jumped on hitters. I thought, especially that the first couple of guys taking fastballs for strike 3, and then he worked in the curveball that really is his best secondary pitch. So between that combination, he was the guy that I think the Pirates think might be a Rookie of the Year candidate this year.
Interesting. Well, what about other positives that you saw from yesterday or in recent times here as spring training rolls along?
Yeah, yesterday there wasn't a lot to report other than Keller and some good relief pitching because the wind was blowing so stiffly in that it did have an effect on a few well-hit balls that Bob and I could only surmise might have hit the wall or gone out of the ballpark, but could never really know, and on both sides for that matter. And so it was kind of a weird day in that regard. But Colin Moran had a couple hits with a run batted in, but his better hit came later in the game that didn't drive in the run. The other one was kind of wind-aided, a little single that got knocked down in that breeze yesterday. So hard to decipher sometimes. But the Pirates, many of the regulars on the mound have looked, at least out of the bullpen, have looked good, I think. And so it's that time of year where you start to get closer to the second half of the spring, and that's when I think really you focus in more on the results for the regular players, starting pitchers, and the like, a little bit more than you would say in those first 2 to 3 weeks or so.
Well, Joe, you brought it up about getting into the second part of spring training. When you look right now at the regulars in the overall lineup, give me a little update on what you see at this point.
Yeah, I think for the starting rotation, that's going to really be the place where the Pirates improve from last year. Obviously, it was one of their poorer years pitching-wise in their history, and we went into the season when we were having this conversation a year ago, talking about how I brought up, not you, but I brought up the fact that the pitching should be the strength of this club and might be one of the better pitching teams in the National League. And I think national writers were talking about that, not even just people in and around Western PA. So I think this time of year always can fool you somewhat, but certainly for the Pirates, if Chris Archer looked good in his one spring outing, it's too early to tell, but he looked very good actually. But it was 2 innings. Hard to really know if that can continue, throughout the regular season. Trevor Williams, we need to see him get better. He was a little better his last time around. Musgrove had a rough outing his last time, but he might have the best all-around stuff of anybody that's healthy in the rotation right now. And then I was talking about Keller, so that's going to be the front 4 of the Pirates rotation. But certainly spring training can give you confidence, if guys performing well. But always it can fool you one way or the other. So it's hard to glean too much, but those 4 really do need to be steady for the Pirates to be a competitive team.
Mm-hmm. In a game that you'll play against Toronto today, we'll have that game here at 11:60, beginning at 1 o'clock. How's the rotation setting up for today? Who will get the call today? I know you tried to lengthen the innings for the pitchers at this particular point.
Yeah, for Trevor Williams, if he's able to go 4 innings today, that's about where the starting pitchers are aiming. And so he'll start. We'll see Keone Kela, Nick Berti, Kyle Crick, Edgar Santana, and Jeff Hartlieb. And so at least with the first 4 of those guys, those are 4 of the guys that the Pirates would really hope make up a big part of their bullpen, and maybe Hartlieb soon. as well. But certainly the first four guys. So if Williams can go his 4 innings, then that sets up very nicely for those other guys to get an inning in today and really continue to sharpen. So as long as it's not too windy or crazy today, and the guys on the mound do what you hope that they do, it might be a good pitching day for the Pirates.
All right, well, we have some things to talk about when we come back at you here on Wednesday. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it a lot.
Oh, always, Jack. Thanks again.
You bet. We'll be listening for Pirates baseball today at 1 o'clock right here. And, of course, the reports Monday, Wednesday, Friday brought to you by Laurel Eye Care and also Diamond Drug and Medical Supply.